We'll put this on YouTube. We can record up to 8 hours of this banter going back and forth. So for those of you is this anybody's first class at St. Peter's? By a show of waving into the camera? Once, yeah, okay, all right. So it's always interesting that, you know, you start off. Is anybody taking another class in person, or is this your only experience? Okay, so some of you are carrying two. All right, that's good. I'm glad that, you know, you started this way. You'll find, if you haven't, hopefully you've gone through all the stuff that's on Blackboard by now, but you know, I do things differently. If you've done an online class than anybody else before, there are no rules here. There's very little. Whoever I've got. See, I don't have my wallet. I was going to say I'm going to buy a 9-volt battery for somebody for the smoke detector, but other than that, there's no rules. If you're going to eat, drink, if you want your kids to come in front of the camera, mine might. We'll see. Everything's fine, you know. And I'm paying attention to that kind of stuff because I'm doing a workshop for the faculty in a couple of weeks on. I always talk about Google Hangouts, and I'm trying to talk about how it's, you know, how it's not really a formal classroom. How it's, you know, people trying to make the transition from, you know, teaching face-to-face to teaching online. I'm sitting here in a t-shirt and shorts on my kitchen table, you know, and I could, you know, and it would not bother me in the least if, you know, I've had people fall asleep on me. I've had people eating dinner in front of me. I've had people driving, anything. So like, it really wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't strike me in the least. So, but I'm always interested in that kind of, that dynamic. You know, and I'm not in Jersey City. I didn't have to drive, you know, 30 miles from northern Bergen County to get to Jersey City. I haven't been there. January will be 2 years since I've been on campus. I've been exclusively online, which is kind of cool. My kids love the fact they don't have to go to Jersey City once a week, and I think I like that too, because it's much easier to close my laptop and, you know, go up to bed as opposed to then driving for an hour to get home. So, like I said, tonight is just. It's part of it is doing exactly what we're doing to make sure that you're comfortable. You got the invitation. You know how to get on the Hangout. Audio and video works. I can see video for everybody. You can hear me. I can hear you. That's good. When we next convene on, what's the date? I think it's October 2nd. When we do the classroom management discussion, we're going to talk about, I have a case there that we'll talk about, and sometimes the conversation will tangent, which is fine. But classroom management is one of those things that I think you have to talk about in person, you know, in a synchronous manner. It's not something that we can, you know, do on a discussion board or through a case study. I think it's important to talk about, especially for those of you that are first-year teachers, those of you that are new to teaching, and even if you've been in the classroom a couple of years, I think you can always learn something new about classroom management. You know, when I first started doing this, what I did then and what I do now are totally different. So, so yeah. So if you have questions for me about course content, about anything course related, I'm all ears. If you want to chit chat about your first day of school, I'm all ears. You know, you can stay on as long or as little as you want to. But the idea is, like I said, it's for me to see you, for you to see that I'm a real person. It's for you to meet one another, you know, especially if some of you might have face-to-face classes with one another, and now here you are online. You know, you can listen to my dog bark. You can, I'm waiting for the kids to photobomb, and you know, I want you to feel comfortable. You know, the online, doing class online requires a lot of self-discipline. Hopefully I've laid everything out appropriately on Blackboard. You'll be able to find anything, but now's the, you know, an opportunity if you have questions about any of that stuff.
I have one.
I'm all ears. You know that whoever makes the most noise gets the big screen. So I think that was that Stephanie?
Yeah.
Okay, go right ahead.
I was just a little confused about the paper. Is it, how much time do we have? When is it due? I know the assignments are due by every Monday, but the paper I was a little,
The paper, let's see. I don't want to lie and tell you something false. I want to say it's like around week 12 or 13. I don't want you to wait till the last week to do it, but let me see. Your paper. Oh, because I still call it webinar. That's, yeah, no, let's change that. It's due week, oh, it is week 14. The week of, so it's due on December 4th.
okay.
Yeah, and I give you, there are 3 weeks throughout the semester where I'm not giving you anything to do other than to work on your papers. So really for that assignment in particular, as we get past Thanksgiving, you really want to make sure you get that in on time, because at that point there's not too much more time left in the semester. So you've got ample opportunity to work on the paper. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Learning disabilities, pick one. I think I say 6 to 8 pages, but if yours is 5 pages, I really don't want you to have to shovel to get to 6. We'll deal with it at a 5. So just make sure it's a good quality paper, and I think you'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you. I think if I have any more questions.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to answer any and all questions that you may have.
So, sorry, the My Lab, right? So I purchased it and it linked. That's all we needed to do to be able to read the readings and answer the questions.
The MyLab subscription, there's, I want to say maybe 10 assignments that I've given you throughout the semester. A lot of them are based on video, so you'll watch something. You might watch a teacher teaching a lesson. You might watch, there's one of them that's an IEP meeting, and then you'll have to respond in writing to a couple of questions. And generally those questions are best answered in about a paragraph. You could go longer, but you need to be detailed enough in your answer, so I'd say about a paragraph to it.
Okay. Are your quizzes timed?
No. The only thing you have to do is to do them in one sitting, but I don't have you. They're not timed. The way the quizzes works, you can take them twice. So you take it. It's going to tell you whatever you got wrong, but it's not going to tell you what the right answer is. It'll give you an opportunity to take it again, and I'll take the higher of the 2 grades. They correlate with the textbook. I don't know if you necessarily need the textbook. I don't know if you necessarily want to buy it. That's up to you. But they correlate with the chapters that are in the textbook. So whatever chapters we cover, on the calendar. Okay.
So is My Lab is not the text?
No, MyLab is not the textbook. MyLab is a series of written assignments that you have to do. It's a supplement to the textbook. You have to purchase MyLab. You do not necessarily have to purchase the textbook.
Okay, got it. I mean, do you think that we'll be able to answer questions without the text?
I think so. And that's why part of the reason I don't time you on them is so you can, if you need to look stuff up or you want to think about it, you can certainly do that. But I don't think that they're that difficult. And plus, it's only a point a question. So maybe in total, maybe it's like 60 questions over all the chapters, maybe. And that's what will, and it's 10% of your grade. So that would be the equivalent of your final exam. So rather than me giving you a final exam, which I would give you those same questions in one sitting, I break it up over 15 weeks.
Got it.
This is Craig. It seemed when I signed in for MyLab that the e-text was just bundled with that. So are we talking about the e-text, or are we talking about a hard copy of a text?
No, you can get the e-text bundled with MyLab, or you can purchase it separately. I don't think it's actually that that expensive, the bundle.
Wait, I can't hear you.
Yeah, you're muted right now.
Craig, I'm sorry. Quick question. You paid the $67 fee for the MyLab?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that does sound about right.
All right, so that means I probably have the e-text also.
Right, that was MyLab and the e-text.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I think it's like MyLab is 50, but if you bundle them, it's in maybe in the high 60s or about $70, which I don't think is, that terrible. If you buy a hard copy of the textbook, it's going to be more expensive. If you buy it from the bookstore, it's going to be more expensive. So just buy it right through when you go through Blackboard. I think that's probably your best bet. Shut up. What else can I answer? I get paid by the question. What else can I answer?
So for us being here in the Hangout today, does that give us any points?
You get my thanks and gratitude. You should get the satisfaction of knowing that potentially this is you're actually, if we were in a classroom in Jersey City, we'd be doing the same thing.
Okay.
Right now. And it'll show up on Blackboard as a grade out of 1, and that doesn't count for your grade. It's just for me to remember who was here. So.
Yeah, just one thing on Blackboard, on the syllabus link, the grading criteria link, it seems like it's linking to the course outline. And I'm assuming, because I saw
probably wrong. Hold on.
In the intro video, there was a slide on grading. I'm assuming that's where it was supposed to link.
I should just like award money for when we find broken links or stuff, because every time I look and I proofread and I think I got it right, someone's like, oh, this link is from like 3 semesters ago. Or I'll put them as placeholders and I'll forget. Nope, you're absolutely right. That's not the right document. Let's fix that right now. Here's my grading criteria. 7 grading policy. Copy. Paste that. That link is fixed. So now that goes to the grading policy, is what it should do.
Okay, and is that the 4-part, 20, 40, 30, and 10?
Yes, it gives you a full description of all the assignments and what they're worth and all that. So yeah, that's the right assignment or the right document.
Okay, great, thanks.
What else can I? Different name, but I'm assuming that's the same person. Where'd she go? I had one student just email. Every time I click the link, I get, what is that? I can't even see what that says. Hangout keeps stopping. You have the latest version of the app. Okay. What else can I answer? Well, I'm going to do exactly what the title says. It's a hangout. I'm going to do just that. I'm waiting for a couple of late bloomers, potentially. You are welcome to stay as long or as little as you want. If I've answered questions for you and you feel comfortable with the hangout, we will convene again in this format on October 5th at 9 o'clock. At that time, we're going to discuss the classroom management case study that's on Blackboard in week 5. We'll go for about an hour, I'd say. We'll start promptly at 9, and I think we should be done by 10. If we're done earlier, that's fine. And I'm not worried if, you have to, if you have to leave early, you come on late, that's fine. As long as you're, here for part of it, that's ideal. So, because I'm not really timing who's here and for how long. So. Right. Any other questions while the whole group is here?
What do you have as a class count? It looks like we've got about 10 right now.
We've got 20 in the class. Hangouts will support 25. I am on now. I found access to a laptop. Okay. So yeah, the web classes and hybrids at St. Peter's are not supposed to go above 20 unless someone is in dire need. To me, it really doesn't matter. Like, there's no difference between 20 and 21, at least in my eyes. But we don't really let them go above 20. So yeah, we've got about half of the people here tonight. I would hope that it'd be a little bit more the night of the actual the virtual class, but that's okay. So
is it true?
So
oh, sorry. Go ahead, Craig.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, so do we have 20 on right now? Because I see about 10, and I'm just wondering if there's a way to see more.
No, you would keep getting smaller as more people join. I'm getting feedback from somebody. Where's that coming from? Is it? No. Somebody without headphones. Because I can hear myself on a delay. It is, first of all, everybody gets smaller the more people we add to the Hangout. Second of all, as I mentioned in the video, you might want to, at a minimum, use a pair of earbuds or some kind of headphones. It keeps the microphone closer to your mouth, but also keeps out some of the background noise. So might be more helpful for you. So, and I'm not saying go out and buy, $100 Beats or whatever, or $300 Beats, I should say, but earbuds, anything like that'll do, just so we can keep the sound pretty good. But yeah, you would potentially see everybody that's on the bottom here. You would see everybody gets smaller. Or no, excuse me. No, you know what? That's a lie. The more, I'm thinking we used to have only 15 in a Hangout. It's the 10, I think, most active people. So there could be more that sign on, but the people that are the noisiest are the ones that'll be on the bottom. I think it's 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's 12, maybe it's 15. But there's, after a while, I don't think I see all 25. I see anybody who's noisy. So.
Professor, how do you know then who's on? It shows you like a list?
On the right, if you look at the group chat, if you hover to the left, there's a bunch of icons on the left. If you're using a desktop, the top one, it looks like it's a blue box with like a call out. It's the chat button. If you hear that, if you tap on that, on the right, you'll see the group chat, and I can see who joined and who left the chat. So if for some reason I don't see everybody down here, that's what I use to kind of gauge my attendance. Is I look on the left to see who joined the chat. So,
okay.
So I will know that if you're here or not. And most people will, if you have technical difficulties or if you're on, I can see that. So I really take your word if it's, I mean, we're graduate students, so it's not like I'm, looking to prove you were here or not. So as I see your name pop up, I just check you off. So I'm not, so if someone had, left 10 minutes ago, as long as I had them marked down, to me, that's fine. I'm not, I'm not going to hold you to say, oh, it's an hour. You didn't, you weren't here for the whole hour. You're not going to get credit for being here. So that's not my intent. So,
Professor, what if we don't see ourselves on the group chat?
I see you, Cassandra. You're the second name on the top.
Oh, see, I don't see it on my end, but okay.
You don't? Do you all not see what?
Yeah, it
what
looks
I
like
see?
you don't see yourself.
No, yeah, you don't see yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I guess.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Look at that. I don't see myself either. But yeah, but as long as I see all of you and I know you're on, then that's good for everybody. So, and now I just got to check and make sure I got anybody without a check. There's not too many that's missing. Yeah. So, what else can I answer for anybody? Anything?
Is it mandatory to have an online course of computers?
No, but we find that they're growing in popularity because, if I spend 8 hours in the classroom, I don't want to spend another 5 sitting as a student. And I've done the back-to-backs. I did my second master's at St. Peter's, so I would do, I'd work from 7:30 to 3, and then I'd go down. I would do class. I did it in the summer. I did like a 4 to 6:20, then a 6:30 to 9 something. So no way. I did what I had to do, but I mean, if I could do this, it's not required, but at the same time, there are so many schools that do it more than St. Peter's does. It's like we have to do this to make sure we're still in the market,
Wow.
So, but we've tried. I've pushed it.
Thank God you told me that.
Yeah, no, you don't have to. It's not required for you, but we find that it's I guess it's easier for people to not have to do 2, or some people who want to do 3 will do, one night a week, do 2 classes, and then do the third one online. So we're pushing. There's more of them. There's a bunch. I heard talk to that we're going to potentially put like the supervisor certificate online. A couple of different certificate programs we'll try and put online. So.
I did that back-to-back thing last spring, and it was brutal.
It is. It absolutely is. And I did it in the summer, so I did 3 nights a week for 5 weeks of back-to-back. And my wife was 7 months pregnant with twins, so she was not happy with me. But it was one of those. It was like if I do it with her pregnant as opposed to being after the kids are born. So, so yeah, I get it. I totally because when I would teach this class at 6:30, by like 8 o'clock, I'm getting the desk there. Like I want to go home. I haven't been home since 7 this morning or something. So yeah, I get it. So this gives you a nice, I think, break because it's for the most part the course is self-paced. You can work as fast as you want, just not as slow as you like, or as fast as you like, not as slow as you want. So if you want to say, you know what, I want to do the entire course in 2 weeks, knock yourself out. The only thing you'd have to do is go back and do some of the postings once other people were, post themselves. But there's no reason why you couldn't do as much as you want and just get it done. So that's how I have the course structured. I don't want it to be you have to wait. If you want to pace yourself and go week to week, it's paced appropriately. But I have people who will just blow through and say, I'm done. And I'll go back and I'll fill in the discussion boards. So
we don't have to. Well, we don't have to post every Monday. As long as we just post our stuff by December, you're fine.
No, you have to post the assignments have to be posted. Everything has to be done by the due date. You can go faster. Like I could say, you know what, I'm going to do everything right now and be done. But if no one else posted a discussion board, I can't respond to anybody. So I'd have to go back and do that. So at worst case, I'd have to go back, let's say every Sunday and post a discussion board. But I could do the paper. You could do all the MyLab stuff. You could do everything, all the quizzes. You could do it as quick as you want.
Okay.
So you don't have to wait. But at the same time, if you wait, I try to find that balance between generosity and tyranny. Oftentimes I end up being too generous. But and really what happens is people start to fall off the pace, and then it becomes a spiral downhill. So I think it's important for you to keep on that pace. I don't think there's too much work per week, and I tried to space it out like that. So this way it's not week 14, like I haven't done anything, because there's no way you're going to be successful if you're waiting that long.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. What else? What else can I answer? What else can I say? Get a battery for that smoke detector, please. Every semester, there's always somebody. I mean, my dog is no better, but like the smoke detector, who is that? We would identify. It was.
I think it's me. I'm not sure, but I think it's me. I'll correct it for October.
Yeah, it's all right. I there's I'm that I hate to say professor because it makes me sound like the guy in Gilligan's Island, but I'm the.
Once a month.
I'm just the guy who who's I can't even say the adult in the room either, but I'm just, I could care less. I mean, and I could care less where you are when you sign on, what you look like, where you're sitting at your kitchen table, you're laying in bed, I don't care. I don't, because it's supposed to be online, anytime, anywhere learning. It's not supposed to be structured. At least that's not how I view it. So, I'm, you don't need to be dressed up. Trust me, I've had all sorts of interesting experiences with people in online classes. So, the big part is that you're here. That's what's important, is you're here and you're involved. That's it. Anything else is secondary. So if nothing else, I'll stick around for a little bit longer, just in case anybody decides to pop in. But if anybody has any other questions, if not, then I'll see you in October. I'll see you online. Make sure if you have questions, you reach out sooner rather than later. Don't wait. So, all right. All right. So that's what's left of the informal program. So like I said, I'll hang around, but if you have any questions, otherwise I bid you a good night and good luck with the start of school year.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot,
Yep.
guys. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck to everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I have a quick question for you.
Go right ahead.
How long did it take you to complete the Ed Leadership program?
I started in January. My son was born in April of 2008. I started in January of 2009, and I finished in May of 2011. I could have gone faster. There wasn't really a lot of online. I did a spring, one summer, a fall, 2 the following spring, 2 in the summer, and then the last year was 1 elective and internship. But mine was the year where they expand the internship 300 hours.
What was it before? 150?
150.
Yeah.
And it's really it's not like you benefit from the second 150.
Yeah.
It's not. It's the state saying, wow, they're really prepared now. Whatever. But St. Peter's was good enough to take the second class, the internship class, as elective credit, so I didn't have to take another class. And plus I transferred in 6 credits. So
I was going to ask you, do you know if we can transfer in credits?
you can transfer up to 6. Generally, they're pretty good about it. You'd have to talk to Dr. Doria,
Okay.
and you should have as long as it's a class that we offer, and it's something that you haven't. I guess it's some. Well, no, I shouldn't say that because I had stuff that counted for my first master's that they took, but they'll take up to 6.
Okay.
So if you've got stuff that I would do that, I would get it in writing, but I would get your transcript evaluated.
Okay.
You know, sooner rather than later.
Because I have like a school law class from my first master's, and I have like my action research class from my first master's, and I don't want to take that again if I don't have to.
That would probably count for 505, which is the research class,
Mhm.
and then the school law would probably move over. I want to say I guess I think it's Dr. Dory who would do it, and it's you know, it's basically here. Look at the transcript, and if it's, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's a guarantee, but
Yeah.
you know, I did assessment and research with the 2 that I brought over because I had, when I did the my alternate route, I did it through New Jersey City University, and I bought 15 credits at a bargain price, and then I've used them on several occasions. So, and this being one of them. So, so yeah, that will get you down to 10 classes. No, it's 12 total, 2 for internship. That will get you down, I think, to 8, and then the internship is 10. 6, 7. Yeah. Unless I don't think the program's changed. So yeah, you can realistically do it in a year if you did 2 in the fall, 2 in the spring, 4 in the summer. Then the following year do the internship. So you could. I don't. I how do I be diplomatic about this? I don't think you would be lost in the amount of work. Because I teach part-time at Iona College too. Can you stop? One of my classes at Iona got canceled. I was supposed to teach 2 in a semester. One got canceled, and I was taking curriculum development and school law. I took them both at the same time, and I didn't have an issue. And I did ed psych, this class, and historical and philosophical at the same time, and I didn't have a problem.
Okay.
So I don't think 2 is insurmountable. If you want to get through, I'd say do it, but then again, I would want to be done, but I probably should have, but it wasn't, to me, it wasn't a big deal. So
Yeah.
I spaced it out, but the summers, that's an ideal time to you could do 4 of them in the course of 2 months. So
the summer I think will be my heavy hitter, but other than that, I mean, I have a pretty full plate, so.
Yeah, but I can't teach in the summer what I do in the semester. So this course I water it down in the summer because I only have 5 weeks.
Mm.
So that's your best opportunity to do, I think most people do, even though they're not going to admit it, but I just can't do everything that I normally do in the 15 weeks in 5. So that's not really fair either.
Like a lot of the classes, are they offered online, or is it usually?
We're getting better. This one, I do this one. I do in the summer, I do principles of public school administration, and I do curriculum development. We do, Dr. Luongo does computers in the curriculum. Somebody else does foundations of reading. What else is going online? We're trying to push more, just because if we don't, then we're going to sink in the market because everybody else is doing it. So there's been a move to do more of it, and I know, I've said to Dr. Doria, I have no problem teaching like this, and there are people that are adamant, absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
I'm fine. I'm good with it. So
yeah,
and
it's just hard, for people who work full time and who have kids. Like driving to Jersey City right now is not an option. So no,
it's not, whether you're a student or even if you're the teacher. It's still it's I think this as long as you're self-disciplined enough to know, okay, I got to go on, I got to do this, this week,
Mm-hmm.
But you can also do it whenever you want. There are times, I stay up and work till 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody goes to bed, which if I got home from Jersey City, although I'd be wired because I fill myself with caffeine, but it would be a different story. So this lends itself nicely to really, whenever you have the opportunity to do the work, you can do the work. So.
Right. Okay, cool. Right.
Good?
Yeah, I think I'm good for now.
Okay. Anything else? That's, I get paid extra for advising, so.
Perfect. I'll definitely have questions.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
All right. Yep. Good night.
Good night.
do we send that? I want 6 credits.
Mm,